Hi everyone, this is Adrian at 18 Echo SF. This is another one of my Tales of the Kimber project that I thought I'd fill you in on. Over the past number of years as I've aged, my eyes, of course, have gotten much worse than they were in previous times. I don't have any problem with my distance vision, but like most people, in their 50s and 60s, your close-up vision starts to go away, and most people begin to wear glasses for reading, and I happen to be in that category. Well, that doesn't go too well when you're shooting and your front sight on a pistol is, just a little bit further than arm's length, and that front sight, which we all like to concentrate on, gets pretty fuzzy. Now, it doesn't bother me that much because I don't really care about having 1-inch groups any longer. All I care about is being able to hit center of mass or higher if need be, and be able to stop whatever threat I run up against. But anyway, I've been intrigued over the past couple of years with the XS big dot sights. And I kept threatening to buy a pair, and I never did. And time went on, and I've just been using the stock sights that have come with my Kimbers, with one exception, and my Colt Combat Commander. The one exception was on one of my previous Kimber Pro carries. I did install a set of Dick Heine's straight 8 sights. Though the white dots with tritium are pretty small, I love the idea of the vertical sight. Made it much easier to come up on target. You didn't lose the front sight behind either of the two, on a 3-dot sight behind either of the two rear sight marks. And I really did like them. So when I saw the XS sights, which is particularly the big dot sight, which is basically a much larger front sight with a V notch in the rear with a vertical line. I kind of like the idea. So I finally got a set for my Kimber Pro Carry, the one you see on the left, my stainless Pro Carry. And I just had them installed last week, and I'll kind of show you. That big white dot kind of stands out. There's a tritium in the center of it, and there is a tritium vertical line at the rear. So basically, you put the white dot on top of that vertical line, and you should be able to hit center of mass. Now, the vertical line isn't even that critical. As long as you get that big white dot on the target, you're going to be, hitting it, pretty respectfully. Anyway, so I love the sight picture and how it looks. And tomorrow I'm going to the range, and I'm going to give them a try. Sorry about wiggling around here, but I'm walking around behind the camera. So this gun is clear. Both guns are cleared, by the way. So I'll let you know how I like the sights after I shoot them. I have a feeling that I'll really like it a lot. So, but I just wanted to show you. So this particular gun, pistol, has now become my project pistol. It didn't start out that way to make it a project pistol, but as you know, I changed out the guide rod. Here, let me just show you quickly. Hold on. I changed out the let me step over this way, see if I can do it for you. The guide rod to a GI style guide rod, and it's really worked out really well for me. I explained some of the things that at first I thought might not be quite right, but as you can see, take this out of here. This is the stock Kimber spring, and this is the Wilson Combat GI guide rod. And it eliminates, having to use the compressed spring and using that little L tool to, disassemble. So this for me has worked out really well, and I'm glad I made the change. So let me just slide this back in, get this back in here. As I've explained on previous videos, after you get the spring locked back in place, you just got to make sure you got your finger right here to keep that compressed while you're sliding this in. And you got to make sure enough to squeeze your finger in there when you're all done. So sorry for the dead downtime. Anyway, so this has the Wilson Combat GI guide rod in place of the Kimber one. Again, using the stock Kimber guide rod spring as well as the reverse plug on the end. The only other thing I've done to this, because as several of you know, I had to have my right thumb amputated 2 years ago due to some cancer, and the safety was, the extended safety just didn't work well for me. So this is a safety off of a Kimber Aegis, 9mm Aegis, that worked perfect. And as you can see, where it fits, it's nowhere near the front of my thumb. So I'm able to put this on, take it off easily, which really worked well for me. So anyway, so when I say this has become a project gun, that's kind of what I'm referring to. It's really a nice pistol. And I do have, get it under the light here, I do have VZ grips on it that I really like, the Elite Tactical Carry grip, that are just fabulous. They have a lot of grip purchase on this section right here, and this top part is smooth. So when your hand wraps around, your fingers are touching, of course, the grip part, and when your hand fills in that spot, it's not going to move easily. So anyway, so I tell you, this has become a project gun for me because of the small changes that I've made. Now with my Colt Combat Commander, and I love this gun. I love all my guns. I don't have that many, but I love this pistol, by the way. It's clear. I got this gun last summer, and it's just fabulous. It also has the VZ ETC grips on it that I love, and of course I left the safety alone because it was already, short, and it has a GI style guide rod. And this particular pistol, this is a 1991 series, the Series 80 guns, Combat Commander, and this particular pistol, has 3-dot sights. So as you can see, that front sight is considerably smaller than the big dot sight. Now this has a 3-dot sights with 2 white dots in the rear, 1 in the front. However, the front sight, is staked in place. There's no dovetail. There is a GI style dovetail on the rear. So I started thinking maybe what I would do, let me set this back down, if I really like the excess sights, is that I would have the slide machined to accept the dovetails, larger dovetails, Novak style cuts, which the excess sights require. But I started thinking more and more about that, and I don't really want to do that. It doesn't have anything to do with the cost of doing it. It would be a couple $100, but it has more to do with messing with my beautiful stock Colt Combat Commander and cutting on the slide. But so I happened to find from 10-8 Performance. You guys are probably aware of 10-8 Performance. That's Hilton Yam's company. They make a national match wide U-notch rear sight that is made to fit on the GI patterned handguns from Colt and Springfield Armory. So it's not very expensive either. It's like $33. So I've decided that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave my front sight alone on the Colt, I'm going to buy that National Match U-notch sight from 10.8 Performance and put that in and just leave that pistol alone. And hopefully with the wider cut on that rear sight and the very deep notch, it will allow me to basically see that front dot, at least have it come into view, even though it will be out of focus after it's installed. So when I eventually get that done, I'll do a video and show everyone what I did and let everyone know how it was when I shoot it. But for now, I'm going to leave the Colt alone, and I'm going to go to the range tomorrow and shoot the Kimber, and then I'll do another report for you and let you know if I like it, love it, or hate it. One of those three. So we'll see what happens. So until then, stay well and safe out there, and I'll see you down the road a bit.